Welcome back to another episode of Unpacking Life with the box, Ricky, and the basket, Vanessa. No basket.
No basket.
That's unfortunate.
That's all you're getting.
All right. So when Vanessa and I first got together, she moved from Texas to Arizona after only knowing me for 3 months. I mean, how well can you really know somebody after that long?
How irresponsible of me.
And we moved in together right away. She left me after a few weeks, and then she came crawling back because, obviously.
I think you're digressing.
But we never spoke about what it would be like living together before we actually did it. Mm-hmm. We just kind of jumped in and hoped for the best, and it was rough. So before we get into all the topics, some topics that you should have a conversation with your partner about before moving in together or before being in a relationship with them or before getting married, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content. So let's dive into it. You want to start with the hard stuff first or last?
Hard is, I think finances is pretty hard.
Oh, no. Harder than that. You ready?
Sure.
Hard stuff first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's talk about in-laws.
So, I mean, the reason we didn't have these conversations is because we were freaking babies and we had no idea what we were doing.
I was 22. Vanessa was 28 or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, what? No.
A little off.
I was 23. I was going to turn 24.
When did we meet? What year?
2012.
I was 22. You're 3 years older than me. So you were at least 25.
Oh. You were 21 when I met you.
In 2011? You met me like 2 weeks before my birthday.
Yeah, so you were 21.
That does not
That's
count.
a fact.
I was 21 and...
Okay, whatever. We digress.
9/10.
But now that we're grown up, right? Kind of.
Most of the way.
And we've had a lot of therapy. We've had a lot of talks.
Yeah.
And we're like 10 plus years in. We have some wisdom to share.
Some advice.
So with in-laws, I feel like I didn't tell you like, oh, this is how my family is. You just met them and then you figured it out.
Surprise.
Right? Same for you. Like, I just kind of figured it out when your mom randomly showed up at our house in Arizona and scared the bejesus out of me.
Did she?
Yeah.
That's the first time you met her?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think.
It might have been.
Did we go to Vegas before that?
Probably.
I don't remember. I don't remember the first time.
So I think you should have a conversation, right? Like, this is how my family kind of works.
Yeah.
My parents are very involved in my life. They're not very involved. Like, I'm sure there's some adults that pass everything by their parents. Like, why are you stomping the floor?
My heel hurt.
Oh. So just different scenarios of like, how important is it going to be for them to get along? What effect do they have on your life? How involved are they? All that stuff. Like discussing it beforehand. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like you can't change your in-laws. We have to work out our relationship. In the meantime, I'm going to get counseling for your parents too. It's not how it works. Like you either accept it or you don't.
If you get a new partner, you change your in-laws.
Or sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like you either accept it or you don't.
Yeah.
And then like there should be conversations around that.
You think we're going to be good in-laws? Or are they going to hate us?
Jury's out.
On the kid.
Jury's out. I don't know.
I think we'll be fine. I hope they like to golf.
Both of them?
Or at least the husband.
I mean, my dream would be that one of our in-laws is like one of our current friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Like who?
Like if Roman married Ani, for example,
Yeah, that would be good.
oh, I would be in heaven.
And
I
Johnny
would
loves to
just,
golf.
I just would always, because I know what to expect and I know what I'm getting into. I don't
Yeah.
have to like get to know a whole new set of adults and
Right?
try to get along with them.
Yeah, it's true.
And I just love them already. So like, if we had grandkids, which is so weird to even think about, then I know they wouldn't like
Be assholes.
be assholes and like, oh, this is my grandchild. You can't
Yeah.
hold them. You're not holding them right,
Yeah,
Because
that's
we
fair.
would be just roasting each other. Anyway.
Be roasting the baby.
So,
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't even remember the first time I met your mom. Was it when she came here?
I
Or
have
did
no
we go
idea.
there? I don't remember either. I remember the first time I met your dad. But yeah, I don't remember how I met your mom the first time. I think it might have been when she
She
came
came to
here.
Arizona.
I don't think she ever came to
She came to
Arizona.
Arizona for sure.
I don't think she did.
I have pictures of her
In Arizona?
in Arizona. Or is that my sister?
Pretty
I
sure
don't
it's your
remember.
sister. Your sister came for sure.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure the first time your mom came was here because we argued about this stupid event, remember?
That was after,
After the first time I met her?
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
But anyways,
so if you're fresh in a relationship, I think you should talk about like
your
family
parents.
dynamics, and
Yeah.
you can't like get rid of your in-laws, right? Unless you choose a different partner. I know.
I've arrested
So
some
like,
people who have. uh, but yeah. So in-laws are a big topic to talk about.
yes.
Um, another big thing, and I think we were kind of on the same page whenever we met,
Mhm.
but it's partying. Where like we went out a few times, but it wasn't really our thing to go out.
Because I did so much of it
I
from
know, me
like
too.
14 to 20 something.
Same.
Hmm.
And it's just like whatever.
My
I
bucket
don't
was
really
full.
care. Yeah.
Like I had several buckets that were
Your
full.
basket.
Yeah. My cup, whatever people call it these days, cup, basket. It was full.
Yeah. So, but we've seen other like even like the reality dating shows and
Hmm.
stuff where they get into like a serious relationship and then one person still loves going out to the club with his friends or her friends and then the other one's like a homebody and they're like no like you go ahead, it doesn't bother me that you go out, but then they show up at 3-4 in the morning drunk as hell with their friends being loud and then they're like all right we need to put a stop to this.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you just have to be on the same page. Like sometimes we know people that there's an age difference, right? And
mhm.
that can be one of the factors.
Yeah.
But if you're on the same page about it and you're like in your 20s, but you're not into going out anymore,
Yeah.
and then that's already good.
Right.
If you're with someone older, chances are they're over it as well.
Mhm.
So, like, as long as you're on the same page, I think if you're not on the same page, then you have to come up with like a compromise and like, what do you expect from me? What are your boundaries? All
Yeah.
that.
So, but yeah, just I guess your what would you call it? Like your social life.
Hmm.
I guess trying to figure out what each other's social life is.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're at the point where you're getting married or moving in together, I feel like you should have a decent view on each other's like social life.
Hmm.
Like you should know each other's friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But like in a case where like us, we only knew each other for 3 months before we moved to Arizona, and then I mean, it could have been completely different once you got to Arizona.
I mean, if you were going out every night or every weekend, it would have been a problem for sure.
Yeah, I know. um, the other thing is children, chilling.
I think that's a huge, super big one.
Yeah. So I think when you're young, I don't even know that I never grew up like wanting kids.
Hmm.
Where I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get older and get married and have kids.
Hmm.
Like that was never really like a goal of mine.
Hmm.
But after we got together, I was like, and then you got pregnant with Aubrey.
I mean, I already had a kid, right? So like,
Yeah.
you're immediately in the situation.
Right.
So you already knew what it was. This would
Yeah.
come as a set.
But that was okay.
Yeah.
Or like if we didn't have any
But
more
some
kids, that'd be fun.
guys that I was talking to, they were not okay with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Give him up for adoption? That's not going to happen.
Well, you were hot enough. I dealt with it. No, I'm just kidding. I loved Dion before you, so.
I could see that. He's much more lovable. But if you get into a fresh relationship, like if one person wants to have kids, the other person doesn't.
Yeah.
And there's no room for error, like they are dead set.
Mm-hmm.
Then
it's never gonna work out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That was like
that
Nikki Bella and John Cena.
The wrestler?
Yeah. So they were together for a long time, and she wanted kids, and he did not want kids. He already had kids. He was
Smart
like
man.
super anal about like he made her sign a contract before she moved in with him, and like super controlling about everything. And she like kept thinking she could change his mind, and then she's like, I think I'm okay if I'm not gonna have kids. And then one day she's like, I'm not okay. She broke up with him. She got with this other guy, had a kid with him, and now she's happy living her life. So I don't feel like you should put your needs aside or what you want in life to be with a person. Like you could maybe be their friend then.
Yeah.
But if there are certain things that you want out of life and being with that person, you would either have to love them so much that you're willing to sacrifice those things, or like just bench them.
Bench them?
Yeah, like friend zone.
Do you have a bench?
Obviously not. Are you crazy?
I don't know about obviously, but it feels like a confession. What do y'all think?
They don't think that.
I'm just in the starting lineup right now? Who's on this bench?
We're talking about people that are like freshly dating. We're way past that.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Was there a bench when I first met you? Sure. You had a bench too.
That's not true.
You had a whole stadium.
Okay.
Full of benches.
Easy.
Anyway, we digress. Go ahead. What else?
Anyway, so kids don't have them. No, they're great. Plus, you don't want your legacy to end with you.
I don't know. We talk about this all the time that like I had Dion when I was 21. Yeah. So, and then you met me and I already had Dion. So like we'd just been parents from the get-go.
Right.
We never were like just me and you dating. Then we move in together and then we have an apartment. Then we buy a house and then we're thinking about maybe are we going to have kids or not? Like that was never an option. We were just in it right away.
And then at some point we were just like, screw it. We might as well just get it knocked out early. So that when we're older and have money to actually travel, then we can do it. Worry free.
I don't know. It just, you derailed my thought.
Sorry. All right, let's talk about Vanessa's favorite thing and topic that everybody should talk about with
budgets,
their spouses is finances.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about it in other episodes about how finances are one of the leading causes for divorce, just because people don't talk about it with their significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, whatever. But I think it's, like I said before, like it's easier not to talk about it, especially if your finances are bad. Like you just kind of want to ignore it, and then hopefully you hit the lottery one day and everything will go away.
Yeah.
But I think finances in a marriage or any relationship where you're going to be cohabiting together or you're living together, you're paying bills together, like you have to talk about finances and have a good understanding of what each other's finances are and what you're capable of buying or not buying, contributing in a relationship. So give me your 15-minute spiel on finances.
No, I'm all spieled out. I mean, in the beginning when we got together, it was rough because we were broke. So I tried to control every piece of money that you spent.
Yeah.
And you didn't
I had
like
to embezzle cigarettes with my gas.
The fact that you're even talking about cigarettes and you were smoking is disgusting. I don't want to talk about it.
So gross. I used to smoke and Vanessa hated it. So I would just lie about it. And it was a whole thing. And she was like pregnant. So... and I never smoked around her or anything. Like I would always try to hide it. So I would smoke at like work or on my way to work or after work or after she went to sleep. And I would always like wash my hands. I'd eat oranges and you like peel the orange peels because the citrus would kill the smoke smell on my fingers. And but when she was pregnant, she had the freaking hound dog nose that would smell it a mile away. And so yeah, so I would try to hide it, and I would buy the cigarettes with my gas, so it just looked like one
That's
charge.
another thing before you get in a relationship. Don't lie to your spouse.
And
I'm
then
glad you think it's funny.
she would be like, "We can laugh about it now,"
Uh,
and then she'd be
I'm not
like, "Why did
laughing.
you fill up 3 times this week?" I'm like, "I didn't buy enough cigarettes." Is what's going in my head.
Anyway,
So
so finances. I'm about to kill you. Um,
this is common knowledge
all
now.
this rage is coming back.
This is common knowledge now.
I just think it's important. Like, it can make or break your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody comes in making more money and they have a certain lifestyle and then they have to support the other person, they might resent them. Like, so many things can go wrong. I just think you have to talk about it and agree on things. We know more and more people that don't share bank accounts, which is crazy to me. But if that works for you, that works for you. But then there need to be some rules. How are we going to pay the rent? Are you paying 60%, 50-50, 40-60, whatever? Like, if we were to split right now, like our finances, you know, whatever, I feel like I would have to pay less because I do
Hell
more stuff
no.
around the house.
Nah, you'd be paying more.
How is that?
Cause I do more.
Like what?
Okay. So we have this argument every once in a while, especially during football season. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do absolutely nothing, and then we'll see
The house
how
looks
much
the
you
same.
complain.
The house looks the
Oh, that's a
same.
damn lie. That's
When
a
was the last time you
lie.
cleaned out the fridge?
2 weeks ago.
The freezer?
3 weeks ago.
You're lying.
I have to pick up your look. Where's your coffee mug right now? I bet you from this morning.
I didn't have any
And it's
coffee.
3
I
o'clock in the
stopped coffee
afternoon.
and alcohol.
Or your teacup, whatever that mug right there is. Socks in the bed, bras in the bed.
I take
all
my
kinds
bra
of
off in the
stuff.
closet, so that's crazy.
So how does that end up in the bed?
This is another episode.
Yeah,
We're gonna do a fighting episode another day.
It's gonna be a long episode.
Just agree on your finances. Have a
Yeah.
plan. You know, what are your financial goals?
Goals.
Goals.
Here comes drunk
What do
Vanessa.
I'm not drunk. What do you want to accomplish together? How are you going to work towards that? All that stuff, I think, is very important.
And I know you kind of touched on it, but some people have like left their parents' house and have never lived with anybody else except for themselves. And then they get into a relationship, they get serious, and then they want to move in together. And it's like a whole nother world because they don't do anything the same. Like your routine is your routine. And then now you have somebody else with their own routine. And then your routines clash. Especially if you're like in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. You're like, oh man, I can't take my morning dump because she's in there doing her makeup.
And the reason we know this is because when we watch these dating shows where they like put them together and then they're always fighting.
Always.
It's been 10 plus years and we still fight because you want to live like nobody else lives with you.
No, I like my stuff a certain way. And
I like my stuff a certain way. Like, why is your gym bag right there on that cabinet?
That's not your stuff.
But that cabinet
is
we
mine
bought
for
so
me.
that I didn't have to see all
For
your
me.
shit out. And now you just pile it on top and it's very irritating. Especially like we have a whole shoe rack 2 feet away from where your shoes are right now. Why are they there? Tell me why. What is the reason?
You want me to explain it to you?
Because you want it in that spot. That's not a good explanation.
Because I like to keep my shoes separate from everybody else's because you guys are just careless with your shoes. You just throw them on the floor in front of your car that drips water onto them. And I like my shoes clean. I like my shoes.
So put them on the shelf.
It's full.
So make room.
No. I like my stuff a certain way. And when you start messing with my feng shui, that's when we start having problems.
Don't use Rose feng shui for your...
That's when we start having
antics.
problems.
Anyway, so...
But then Vanessa would leave her mug out, her snacks, her food, cut up vegetables, cut up fruit, just all over the counter whenever. And then she's stressed out later because she has to clean it all up.
I'm just a squirrel. I start one thing and then I start another and then I'm like, Oh,
And
there's a
then
mess. Then I
she's
clean
angry
it
that
all
there's a
up.
mess, and then she has to clean up her own mess, and then I get yelled at because I didn't help her clean her own mess. Facts or not?
Anyway, back to the episode.
Facts.
Because you're making me mad.
Anyways.
It's,
So
if
living
you
with
live
each
by
other.
yourself,
Uh-huh.
and then you're used to a certain way, and then a slob moves in with you, for example.
Are you calling me a slob or yourself
No,
a slob?
I'm not talking. I'm gonna murder you. Then, it could cause for a lot of friction. So
Yeah.
I feel like you should have a talk. Like, hey, I'm super OCD. I like my stuff a certain way.
Right.
I get up at this time. I don't need you interrupting me, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, like, you can talk about it all you want until you're in it.
Yeah, you won't know.
You
for
won't
sure.
know. And then you have to kind of like,
especially if you're like
talk it through as you're going
dating.
through it.
I feel like when you're beginning dating, like you're still in the I want to impress this person phase.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, I make my bed every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I do 100 push-ups at the foot of my bed.
Mm-hmm.
Before I even go into the bathroom, I chug a glass of water just to get my digestive system going. I work out real quick and then I run back upstairs. I take a shower. When in reality, you wake up at 10 o'clock and you like brush your teeth and wash your hair in the sink because you're late. So don't lie. Just be honest, people.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna find out.
Oh, don't lie, huh? Crazy.
What
Like,
did I
don't lie
about?
about your cigarette use.
That was a long time ago. It's past the statute of limitations. You can't hold it against me anymore.
Of course I
We
can.
moved on.
My brain doesn't have a statute.
All right. And this next topic is gonna make or break us.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yep.
Toilet paper.
Mm-hmm. Which
direction should it be? With it hanging down the front or hanging down the back?
The front.
Perfect. That's why I love you, girl. It's my wife.
I just don't know why you would do it backwards.
I know Dion does it all the time. When he replaces toilet
Because
paper.
he's a boy and he's careless.
I'm a boy. I'm careless, and I still know the right way to put toilet paper.
You're a boy with responsibilities.
Responsibilities. Yeah, don't put your toilet paper backwards, please. It's so weird.
Or don't be a jerk and not fill it up.
No. Let's talk about it. So, you're in the toilet doing your business. You get down to like the last 3 little squares of it, tear it off, do your business. Do you A, do the wrong freaking thing and just get up and leave and go on about your day? Or B, do the right thing, get a new toilet paper roll and replace it? What's your answer?
If it is
What's
empty.
your answer, A or B?
C. If it's empty,
C?
I'm replacing it.
C
if there's
is-
a few sheets left
No.
and I'm in a rush, you can do it.
No!
Yes.
Heck no. Nope.
Okay.
I will go out to the hallway and get a new roll, do my business, and then I will go take that roll back to the hallway. Just out of spite. And then
Yeah,
next time
'cause
she gets
King
all
Petty.
pissed off.
I don't know. I have a
Grab me.
husband for sale if
Grab me
anybody
right now.
wants him.
No.
The investment I put in, he's worth about $500,000.
That's it? That's very little return on your investment.
I know, because you're diminished value.
I'm damaged goods. If I said the same thing
'Cause
about
you have a
you, they
crazy
would report me.
ex-wife.
They'd be like, he's pimping his wife out. Trying to
They
pimp me
might
out
flag
later?
me for that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next one? We tackled toilet paper.
No. So tell the people why you just leave it there on empty.
Because I'm a girl. You use toilet paper only when you poop.
Exactly.
I'm a girl, and when I pee, I don't need that much toilet paper. So if there's 4 or 5 sheets, that's plenty. I only need a couple. You need like the whole
At least
half of the roll.
replace it.
Okay.
Half of the roll?
Mhm.
You're crazy, dude.
Like 5 meters worth of toilet paper.
You don't even know how far that is.
I know meters. I don't know
Are
feet.
you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
We're going to measure after this. Let's see
Okay.
how close you get. See? Have these conversations, people, or else you're going to be stuck like me.
I just put you up for sale. You're not stuck.
I'll be a free man, please. If you have a spare 500,000, free me. I think another big one is stress management. How the other person deals with stress, adversity, and just bad days. Like,
I think that kind of goes hand in hand with like moving in together. Like, listen, if I come home and I have had a bad day and I start playing video games, just like leave me alone, kind of thing, you know?
yeah. Or I had a long day. I come home and just get shit faced drunk. I don't want to deal with that.
Well, I think that's a whole nother problem. If you don't want to be with someone that gets drunk all the time.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying, you just have to have that conversation
Mm-hmm.
of, like, how do you manage stress? What do you like to do? And don't give people all this, oh, I like to go on long walks in the evening to.
Like, just be honest. So many
Yeah.
people, like, again, we watch these dating shows. Can you tell the main source of information we're getting from Netflix?
Yeah.
And they're only giving the best of themselves. They're not like really being honest and in touch with themselves. Like, you know, honestly, when I have a bad day, I just want to be like a slob or something.
Yeah.
You know, they
I
just
just want to be left
make
alone.
up like what they would like to do, but they don't really do those things.
Right. Just the impressing phase.
Don't do that. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Same with the whole game playing things. I was never that person. Like, should I wait 2 days to send him a text? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna send it because I can't wait. Like, why do you have to do that? If you want to talk to them, just call them. Why do you have to make it like this whole like?
You play
but I
those
want to
games
call
with
him
me. Stop
first. A
playing.
little bit, but not a lot.
So don't say I hate playing those games. You played those games. You a lie? Be
Next
honest.
topic.
Be honest.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one, most secondly important behind toilet paper, is your thermostat. What do you keep your thermostat at? I like it personally at like 65. That would be ideal. Vanessa likes it at 75.
I like it at 70.
Yeah, so we keep it at 70, unfortunately.
Are you kidding me? It's usually at 67 or 68.
Just recently you started doing that. I don't know.
Because I'm hot in the night.
Yeah, I'm hot all the time. And so now that it's summertime and our bedroom sits right above the garage, so it gets a little toasty.
It's like a toaster oven.
Yeah, more than the rest of the house. But if it was up to me, I'd be sleeping in the basement. That'd be great. I love sleeping in like super cold. But I don't like sleeping with the fan on unless I'm like really hot. But with the fan, I feel like I get all dried out. You like the fan? It doesn't dry you out?
I like the noise of the fan.
Not our fan.
Except ours, because it makes
like
a clicking
clinks?
noise. Yeah. If anybody wants any handyman in Colorado Springs that could take care of our clanking fan, please let us know.
I think we just need to slow it down, but it has that weird like.
It's like however it was installed, something's like rubbing against it.
Yeah.
But so like you should have a lot of conversations, right?
Yeah. Just be open
when
and
you're in a
honest.
new relationship, but then also like not everything has to be a big deal. Like, oh, it's not gonna work because they like alone time and they put their toilet paper on the wrong way and they don't want to go 50-50 on the rent. Like, if you love the other person, surely you can come up with a compromise that works for everyone. Just don't be a selfish jerk. Just like,
I mean, you have to compromise in every relationship.
So
both parties have to.
And don't make everything like a big red flag.
Yeah. Just don't sweat the small stuff. Choose your battles. But that's it for today. We appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.